Have you ever noticed how someone suddenly becomes interested again right after you stop chasing them? They had all your attention, your effort, your loyalty, and they acted like it meant nothing. But the moment you go quiet, focus on yourself, and stop handing them your energy like it's free, boom, they start texting, calling, checking your stories. They want back in. Why? Let's get one thing straight. This isn't magic. It's not about playing some childish mind game. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about removing your presence so they can feel the weight of your absence. This video isn't just about getting them back. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't need them back in the first place. Let's get into it. Here are 7 brutally honest reasons why they come crawling back when you give them distance, through the lens of Stoic self-control and emotional discipline. Reason 1, your silence says more than words ever could. When someone gets used to hearing from you constantly, they take your presence for granted. It becomes background noise. But silence is loud. Silence gets attention. When you stop texting, stop checking in, stop asking how their day is going, they notice. Not right away, but soon enough, that void becomes impossible to ignore. They start wondering why the usual pattern is broken. And you know what makes it worse for them? You're not mad. You're not fighting. You're just gone. Calmly, silently, respectfully. That drives them crazy because now they have to sit with themselves. No distractions. No free validation. Just their own thoughts and the sudden emptiness where your attention used to be. In that silence, they start to hear their own insecurity. Reason 2, people crave what they can no longer predict. Humans are wired to desire uncertainty when it's tied to value. You used to be predictable, always available, always giving, always showing up. And because they expected it, they stopped appreciating it. When you switch it up and become less available, less predictable, you instantly become more interesting. It creates a kind of emotional tension. Mystery. Intrigue. They don't know what you're doing, who you're with, or how you feel. And that not knowing pulls them in. They're used to being in control of your emotional state. When you remove that control and walk away with calm, measured detachment, they panic. They start watching your moves. Checking if you've moved on. Wondering if they ever really understood you. And that's when curiosity turns into obsession. Reason 3, your growth makes you unrecognizable, in the best way. There's nothing more shocking than watching someone you took for granted evolve into someone you don't even recognize anymore, someone better, stronger, and glowing with self-respect. The moment you start focusing on your fitness, your finances, your mental health, your goals, people feel that shift. And if they once had easy access to you, they'll feel left behind. They start asking, wait, who is this person? Because here's what happened. You took all the effort you used to pour into them and redirected it into yourself. You stopped being the fixer, the pleaser, the emotional safety net, and became your own source of strength. That kind of glow up? It's magnetic. But more importantly, it's not even about them anymore. You're not growing to prove anything. You're growing because you finally realize you deserve better. And they're just now catching up to that reality. Reason 4, your confidence is no longer for sale. Confidence doesn't come from being liked. It comes from knowing that you'll be okay whether someone likes you or not. When you stop chasing people, stop needing validation, and stop begging to be seen, you start radiating a quiet, unshakable confidence. And that kind of confidence is rare. It makes people rethink how they treated you. Suddenly, you're not looking for approval. You're walking with purpose. You're making decisions without needing to consult them. You're saying no without over-explaining. You're not afraid to be alone. And that's when they realize you've changed. They didn't expect it. They expected you to keep needing them. But now, the person who once relied on their attention to feel good is out here thriving solo. And nothing messes with someone more than realizing you found peace without them. Reason 5, they didn't realize what they had until it was gone. Let's be honest. Some people only appreciate your effort when it disappears. You were always available. always checking in, always making sure they felt seen, heard, supported. And they got used to it. They didn't think it could end, because they thought you'd always be there. But then one day, you weren't. And now they're noticing everything you used to do. The little things. The emotional labor. The kindness. The consistency. The care. And it hits them. You weren't just being nice. You were giving. You were investing. You were showing up in ways they didn't even bother to acknowledge. And now, they don't have that anymore. The regret kicks in. But here's the truth, by the time they realize what they had, you're already building a life where that version of you doesn't even exist anymore. And that's what really stings for them. Reason 6, they want to be part of your new life, the one without them. When you start making moves, really making moves, it creates momentum. You're out there working on yourself. Taking risks. Exploring your passions. Building connections with people who value you. And they see it. They see your confidence growing, your social circle expanding, your purpose unfolding. And guess what? Now they feel like the outsider. They feel like they're watching your life from a distance, the same distance you once felt when you were pouring everything into them. Now, they want to be part of it. They want a seat at the table again. But here's the catch. This isn't the same table anymore. You've changed the game. You've raised the bar. You're not just inviting people back into your life based on history, you're choosing based on energy, effort, and alignment. They can want back in all they want, but now it's on your terms. Reason 7, the fear of being replaced is real. This is the one that stings the most. They're starting to imagine you with someone else. Someone who sees your worth right away. Someone who doesn't need to lose you to value you. Someone who shows up, puts in the effort, and treats you like the asset you are. And that fear, that you've moved on, that someone else is giving you what they never did, eats at them. They scroll through your posts looking for signs. They check who you're with. They analyze your smiles. And it doesn't even matter if there's someone else yet, the fear that there could be is enough. Because here's what they know deep down, you're not going to stay single forever. You're not going to wait for them to wake up. Eventually, someone else is going to see what they missed. And that realization, it burns. It's not just jealousy. It's regret wrapped in fear. And now the tables have turned. The real power was never about getting them back. This entire time, the growth, the silence, the distance, it wasn't about them. It was about you. It was about reclaiming your energy. About realizing that your time, attention, and love are not bottomless resources to be handed out to people who don't appreciate them. You didn't pull away to manipulate. You pulled away to heal. And somewhere along the way, you became powerful. Calm. Focused. Stoic. Someone who doesn't chase, because you finally understood that the right people don't need to be chased. So if they come back, cool. But if they don't, even better. Because this new version of you, they're not ready for it. The only question now is, are you ready to keep walking forward? Because if someone took you for granted, left you hanging, or only saw your worth when you went silent, they never deserved you at full volume. Keep growing. Keep choosing you. Now it's your turn, drop a comment and tell me, have you ever had someone come back after you pulled away? What changed? What did you learn? Hit that like button, subscribe for more real talk, and share this with someone who needs to hear the truth about emotional power and walking away like a boss. Because remember, the most powerful move you can make is not needing to be chosen. It's choosing yourself. Every time.